Just,
Pal.
just so I can check if we can hear ourselves. It's always a start.
Oh, it always helps, doesn't it?
Imagine doing one of these and then getting to the end and thinking, oh no, couldn't hear it.
We'll probably get more viewers that way.
Just so I can
Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to Shoot Some Shale, powered by D&D Media for tonight's Pub Direct Championship. Watch along between Oxford and Edinburgh. We thought we'd give you a break from Poole, so we'll go to Oxford instead. You're very welcome. I'm joined by, and as always, I'm joined by Mr. Dylan Hodgetts. How are we doing on this unbearably warm evening?
warm, very warm. We're not built for this kind of weather.
No, we are not.
And we're sat here talking about Speedway, and we're going to be doing it again tomorrow when it's supposed to be about 5 degrees warmer. Brilliant.
Lovely.
Should we have a quick look at the teams at Poole before we start this one, being as we'll have some updates from there tonight?
Oh, go on then.
Do you want to do Berwick and I'll do Poole?
Give me a minute. I'm finding them. There we go.
Prepared
Found
as
them.
always.
Found them. I will do whichever team you wish for me to do.
Yeah, you do Berwick, I'll do Poole. We'll do Riders to watch for it as well, and then we'll look at the teams that we're doing tonight.
So for the Berwick Bandits, number 1 is Craig Cook. At number 2 is Sam Hagan. At number 3 is Bob, or Daniel Newman as is known to his mates. At number 4, Drew Kemp. At number 5, Leon Flint. At number 6, Dale Wood. And at number 7, Jack Heat 15 Hippie Smith.
Man to watch out of that.
I've gone for Drew Kemp. He can be very good at Poole on his day. And obviously, he won the cup with us at Poole in 23. And he can go well.
I've gone for the same rider for the same reasons. So that was easy.
That was easy enough.
Poole Richard Lawson goes at 1, Tobias Thompson at 2, Anders Rowe returns at 3 after a rather uncomfortable injury last time out at Poole. Zach Cook at 4, Louis Kerr at 5, Paul Stark at 6, and Darryl Richings at 7. Your pirate to watch, Mush.
First of all, Luke's got his own suit on.
Blimey.
Poor guy. My Poole one to watch, Darryl Richings. For the simple reason, this is his last chance to prove himself to the Poole promotion to keep him on for the rest of the season, because I believe the next time Poole race is after William Keynes' birthday.
I'm going to go with our cult hero, Tobias Thompson. With all due respect to the Berwick, other than Drew, I think the rest of the team is all beatable, and Tobias is starting to look really good around his home track as well, and he's definitely kicked it up a gear this year. I think it's fair to say.
You have a very valid point there, me old Scroot.
You got a score prediction. Berwick have got 2 points in hand for the aggregate, so to be honest, that will probably be wiped out by the end of Heat 1.
Hull will win, but they won't quite hit 60.
What you predicted?
55-35.
I'm going to go 53-37. think it'll be a touch closer. I think Drew probably gets 6 rides with a tactical thrown in somewhere. Or Flinty. Flinty can go well at Poole. I think Leon Flint's a better rider at Poole than Peter Kilderman would have been. So I don't think it's a massive loss with them not having Kilderman, but I think it'll be 53-37. Let's have a look at the teams for the one we're doing. If you want to do the Edinburgh Monarchs, and I'll do the Oxford Cheetahs by name. Cheetahs by nature.
You wouldn't be what's the word that I'm looking for here? Oh, hello. Can't remember what I was going to say, so I'll just move on. For the Edinburgh Monarchs, ones that aren't the Cheetahs, number 1 is Victor Palavara. At number 2, Kai Thompson. At 3, Justin Sedgman. At 4, Paco Castagna. Michael Parktoft rides at number 5. Jonathan Gran rides at number 6. And at 7 is Geordie Loftus. And something a little bit unique, because it's already happened once tonight. We've both got the same monarch to watch.
Do you want to elaborate on why that is, Mush?
To be honest with you, I couldn't think one, so I just thought, you know what, sod it. Parktoft will do.
Better the devil you know than the devil you don't, and all that.
Nah, I think, yeah, obviously he's a bit race rusty at the minute, and he's had hit and miss meetings around Oxford. So, if tonight is a good meeting for him, Edinburgh could be in with a very good chance. If tonight isn't a good meeting for him, Edinburgh could still be within a very good chance.
And for the Oxford Cheetahs, Sam Masters skippers the side at number 1. Luke Harrison guests for the unavailable Jonas Knudsen at number 2. Jordan Jenkins at 3. Mitch McDermott at 4. Cameron Hibbs returns at 5. Jody Scott guests for the unavailable Francis Gusts at 6. And Luke Killeen at number 7. Palmer, your man to watch for the Cheetahs. Interestingly enough, actually, we've both gone for the Cheetahs reserves, but different ones each.
We have, and it was a big toss up between Jody Scott and Luke Killeen, so I'm kind of glad I've gone for Luke now. But yeah, Luke Killeen had a decent last Cheetahs meeting here, and he'll be wanting to keep that form up.
Yeah, I've gone with Jody Scott. He was fantastic on debut for Redcar a couple of weeks ago. He's also been solid enough in the Premiership. You went to watch him on Monday at Kings Lynn, which there will be a vlog of coming to this very YouTube channel in a couple of days' time, albeit very bloody short.
Very, very short.
And Jody Scott, you said, was fantastic, and he's really kicked on this year, hasn't he?
Oh, 100%, I mean, well, everybody knows that I've got a bit of a thing for Yankovic, but Jody Scott definitely deserved the rider of the night over Jan, but yeah, he was, even in the races he didn't score, he was very much on the pace.
I'm really impressed by the turnaround time of the Kevis that Edinburgh have got. Geordie Loftus is in Kevlar's already.
Almost like they've got this planned out.
And Palm Tree.
I think Palm Tree had them last week.
Yeah,
at Edinburgh.
Right. Yeah, he had them really early on. Yeah. The gate news: Edinburgh won the toss, and Palmer said to me, "Whoever gets 2 and 4 in Heat 1 will be bob on." So Paco chose 1 and 3. And I'd be interested to see how Victor Palavara gets on at number 1. He's obviously had, I wouldn't say easier rides, because he's been coming in for 7 rides a meeting, and that does include coming in against number 1s and stuff on more than one occasion, and he's done really well at it.
Yeah, exactly that. Quick look at the table. Poole lead the way with Glasgow in second, Scunthorpe in third, get in. Redcar fourth. They make up the current playoff teams. Edinburgh 5th, Berwick 6th, Plymouth 7th, Oxford 8th. Poor old Workington haven't even had a meeting yet.
It's criminal we're halfway through June and Workington haven't had a championship meeting yet. It's mad that
Mad,
table's a
innit?
bit misleading because I think Redcar will be there or thereabouts, but they've got 3 meetings in hand over Poole, and Poole have raced at least one more than everybody else, up to 3, well, up to 5 more than Workington. But with all due respect to Workington, I don't really see them pressuring Poole, to be honest, from what we've seen in the early stages of the season.
Oh,
And Cameron Eaps has got old Kevlars on with a race jacket.
he has.
Looks like he's got last season's suit on with this year's sponsored race jacket.
If only there was another rider in the team that hasn't got this year's Kevlars sorted or fixed and was there last year and could wear last year's race suit rather than have a t-shirt on that promotes that club's premiership team.
Yeah, I'll be keeping an eye over what's going on at Poole. Palmer's going to be doing commentary, I'll be doing lineups and results, normal jobs, and this is something you can get used to for the time being for the next few weeks. It's just going to be me and you.
Yeah, it is. There's been some circumstances happen behind the scenes, and it's with regret to have to inform our audience that Mr. McNally is having to take an enforced break from Shoot Some Shale commitments.
Yeah, that. We've got 6 people watching.
Already?
Yeah.
Wow. Fair play is for listening to us ramble on. We'll be on with some actual racing in a minute.
Yeah, we're into the parade at the moment. I wonder if JJ is going to get some new Kevies done or whether he's just going to use them in a pull over top for the rest of the season.
Just get him in his last season's race suit and give him a race jacket. It looks a bit better.
Unless he's just sold these last season. Some riders sell them, don't they?
But yeah, some riders need the cash.
And to be fair, a used race suit will pull in a fair bit.
Yeah, 100%. You know, especially if you're an Oxford supporter. You know, you're going to want a set of Oxford Kevlars if you could get your hands on them. So,
to be fair, you've got 3 teams worth to choose from.
well, exactly.
We give Oxford a little bit of SH1T sometimes, but their setup is perfect. Everything is on brand. It's on point. Everything's uniform.
Yeah, it is. But it's just one of them, isn't it?
I know you're not a fan of the Spire stuff, but everything looks right. You know, they've got matching 4 covers with each individual team in their little outfit, each sponsor on. So you got SD Timo for this league, and is it Beck Goodwin for the top league?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they've got them in the National League as well.
They have, yeah. I just can't remember what the sponsor's name is, but they've done everything properly. Everything's,
Yeah, they have. To be fair, oh, it's hot.
Winchester's message, watching along as usual. Winchester's still waiting for this loyalty card off us.
Think it got lost in the post mush.
I love that we advertise 7:30 starts for meetings. They never, ever, ever, ever start at 7:30.
Sometimes it could be parade at 7:30.
And we're now at nearly 20 to 8, and we're still waiting for the riders to come out for 8-1. You read the Speedway Star the other day, and you've got the exact reason Kai Thompson's form has picked up in recent times.
So, Kai Thompson's form has picked up because he can't afford his shopping and he can't afford a £4 punnet of strawberries from Tesco's. Now,
His words.
Stupid, but it's in the Speedway Star. So, Kai pal, if you're listening, just go to Lidl, They're a bit cheaper there, pal.
And
Nathan Stoneman on the spanners there for Justin Sedgman.
he gets around, doesn't he, does Nath?
That he does. Something's got to keep him occupied.
And we got the riders coming out onto track for Heat 1. Really interested to see how Victor Palavara gets on here. I don't think he'll be too bad at number 1. I think he'll be absolutely fine.
Jesus Christ, Andy Powell, lose a bit of timber mush. You
mean your
remember?
boss that you need to go back to work to on Monday?
Yeah, him. Remember that prediction that I said to you earlier before we come on air?
Of Poole or this one?
Of this one?
The one about Heat 1?
Yeah.
Do you retract that statement?
Can I retract that statement because Paco was a silly Billy and chose the wrong gates?
Winchester, I don't expect a loyalty card, just like to tune into two really good mates covering a sport I love. Stop it, Winchester, you're going to make us blush. Heat 1 lining up off the inside gate in yellow for the Monarchs, Kai Thompson. Gate 2 in blue for the Cheetahs, the guest for the evening, Luke Harrison. Gate 3 in white for the Monarchs, Victor Palavara. And off the outside in red for the Cheetahs is Sam Masters. To the Birmingham track team, if you're listening, this is how you prepare a track on a hot day. Don't flood it like that state the other night.
Basically, yeah. So, start marshal got these boys in order. These starts were very grippy. The tapes rise, away we go. It's a very solid start there for the Monarchs guys. Sam Masters and Victor Palavara are virtually neck and neck, but it's Palavara that currently leads. Masters looking to go around the outside there of Palavara. Palavara sticks to the inside run. Luke Harrison's towards the rear of the field, and Palavara shut the door on Sam Masters to come through. Now Palavara tries to cover on the outside, and now, if anything, Kai Thompson's giving Sam Masters more of a run for his money, which should, in theory, allow Victor Palavara to extend his lead. And if this carries on, I'm unretracting my sentiment from earlier. Victor Palavara is pulling away from Sam Masters here, and this is probably a surprise in the books to a few people with one lap left to go, barring any form of mechanical failures. Scunthorpe fans, if you're watching this, Luke Harrison will not be this poor on Friday. He's just riding for a Tin Pot Club as they come round turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Then Sam Masters does not win Heat 1 as Victor Palavara does the business.
Really, really good ride from Victor Palavara there. Is he on Sedge's bikes or similar design to Sedge's bikes? They look very
similar
very
design.
similar, yeah. But he looked untouchable there. He gated really well. Sam gave him a bit of attention early on, but Palavara pulled away, and I think Kai Thompson putting the pressure on did help Vic to get away, but he looked fantastic then, to be honest. Result of Heat 1 was a win for the rider in white, Victor Palavara, second in red, Sam Masters, and third in yellow, Kai Thompson. 2 points to Oxford, 4 to Edinburgh, and it's first blood to the visitors.
And
we've got race times!
Have we?
Yeah, they've put race times on, 59.12 seconds.
59.12. Wow, fast.
Victor Palavara looks so much like Jakob Thorsell, it's really scary.
Just a Jakob Thorsell with air.
Yeah. Yeah, Victor.
Now, can I just say, because this race has proven it, Victor Palavara is the best Edinburgh number 1.
And I know Premiership clubs have shown interest in Victor Palavara. I know this for a fact, but there was also a reason that he couldn't join. And it's a shame because he's in such good form and deserves to be in the Premiership, but when your time is as limited as it is on a Thursday night, which is one of the Premiership race nights, no one's going to take that risk, are they?
Well, if next year's plans come to fruition, his time might be a little bit better off. Heat number 2.
Going off the inside gate in red for the Cheetahs, Jody Scott. Gate 2 in white for Edinburgh, Jonathan Grant. Gate 3 in blue is Luke Killeen, your man to watch. And off the outside making his championship debut, off gate 4 in yellow is Geordie Loftus, who was very, very good at red car in the National League for the Monarchs Academy on Sunday.
He was, but Monarchs Academy is a bit of a different scoop to the Monarchs.
You got a point, and 1 and 3 worked well for Edinburgh in the first race, and it's Oxford who find themselves on it in this one.
That it is.
YouTube comments lady, evening guys.
Good evening, YouTube comments lady. So, heat number 2 then. The Fat Controller gets them into order, walks away. As the tapes rise away, we go. It's a very good start there for Jonathan Graham in the white helmet colour, but Luke Killeen now looking to come round the outside of Graham, does that perfectly. Geordie Loftus struggling a little bit towards the rear of the field, and Jody Scott, he looks very uncomfortable on that machine, but Luke Killeen, he also looks quite uncomfortable on his machine, but he's out in front. He's going to score some points and earn some pocket money. With Jonathan Graham, though, he's putting pressure on Luke, to be fair. One mistake for Luke and he'll be through. Geordie Loftus isn't really challenging Jody Scott at the minute. But the big battle is at the front. Jonathan Graham now looking to go around the outside of Luke Killeen. Luke Killeen shuts the door beautifully there, and we've got one lap left to go. Again, one mistake from Luke Killeen, and Graham will be through. Graham looking to use the outside now, and now he's looking to come back up the inside there of Killeen. Not quite going to work out. And by my reckoning, it's all square again.
And it's a second win of the evening off gate 3. Interesting race that. It's interesting to see that early on there's normally an inside line. There's not tonight. It's straight round to the mid-track and wide area. That's where Jonathan Graham was putting the pressure on Luke Killeen. Smart ride from Luke. Geordie Loftus was never going to hit the ground running. It's a difficult place to come to if you've never seen it before. And, he'll get better as time goes on. So the result of Heat 2 was a win for the rider in blue Luke Killeen, second in white Jonathan Grant, and third in red Jody Scott with a race winning time of 60.24. That's a 4-2 to Oxford and ties the score up at 6 points apiece after 2 heats. I do like that they've added the race winning times. It's a good addition.
It's just a little thing to keep us Speedway diehards really happy.
Yeah, it feels wrong, doesn't it, doing sort of stuff like this without having the race time. You get used to hearing the announcement over the tannoy of the winner and the time.
Or in our case, you get used to announcing it, and then you get old people say, "Can you announce it again, pal?" But in not a nice as tone as that.
Is that you talking from centre green presenting experience?
Correct.
For the aggregate point, it's still 10 points in the favour of Edinburgh, 46-56.
And the two Lukes having a chin mag there, with Harrison saying, "Don't tell me what to do, I'm not as shit as you."
Heat 3, going off the inside gate in white for Edinburgh, is Justin Sedgman. Gate 2 in blue, moving into the main body of the team now, Mitch McDermott. Gate 3 in yellow is the captain of the Monarchs, Paco Castagna, who's not got any fork covers on that bike. And off the outside in red is Jordan Jenkins.
That it is. That it is indeed.
Seems to be a thing more often than not now. Riders are not having fork covers all the time.
Air resistance.
At least we know Paco's got his transponder on and it's working because it's flashing at us.
It's better.
What, the fact it's working or the fact it's flashing at us?
The fact that it's working.
It does help. It does help, doesn't it?
So, start marshal then. Looks a bit like the Fat Controller from Thomas the Tank Engine. Waddles away, waddle, waddle. As the tapes rise away we go. It's a very solid start there from Justin Sedgman. And, whoa, carnage! As both Mitch McDermott there and Justin Sedgman go, or is it Paco?
Paco.
One of the two. Go down. Now, for me,
the rider in blue goes there.
That was McDermott's fault.
Yeah, McDermott goes for me there. A, it's on the second turn. B, clouts into Paco. There's no bunching involved in that. He clouts straight into Paco. For me, he's disqualified for that, but we'll see what Gary Allen does. And as we know, he's not the best of referees. Paco looks, I think he's stuck under the fence actually.
He can't be as bad as Dave Waters, surely.
There was no malice in that. It was a racing incident, but I still think that McDermott goes. Let's see if this clarifies that. There's nobody near him. It's not Bunchy now. He's got to go for that.
Nah.
100% he's got to go for that.
So Gary Allen, if you're
Probably
listening,
exclude Jordan Jenkins for that one.
We probably exclude, I don't know, Steve Worrell.
I think that's got to be rerun without Mitch McDermott, to be honest. Packer clats the fence quite hard as well.
Does. Mitch McDermott's up.
And Paco's
up, but
he's limping a little bit though. And there will be
just a little bit.
Just a little bit of time allowed for Paco here to get himself sorted and his bike sorted. See how wet the track is. He's absolutely caked in dirt.
We've not just had explosive diarrhea then, no?
No. Not you at Butlins.
That's meant to be our little secret, man.
There's only us and 11 friends.
Only 11 joining us at the minute.
Paco's explaining what happened in Paco language, and he doesn't look impressed with the move that he's having a laugh with Sedgwick, to be fair, but he doesn't look impressed by that move from Mitch McDermott.
I wouldn't be either.
No, he just
blatantly took him off.
It would be nice if McDermott would go over and apologise, but he's not. He's pissing around with his helmet.
He won't. Of course he won't. He's an Oxford rider.
There's only one decision to make. There's no way that's an unsatisfactory start. So there's only one decision to make for that. Edinburgh had made a perfect gate as well. They were on a 5-1 going into the first and second turn.
And boom, McDermott just cleans out Paco.
Yeah, it's got to be a disqualification in blue for me. We will see if it is.
I'll just check the sources on the internet because we're not really. Oh, go away, Shrek. Nobody wants to see you.
McDermott's not got his helmet on, so I think he's been kicked out of that one. Peter Shrek's.
Yeah.
McDermott, yeah, it's the right decision.
McMermaid excluded.
The right decision, 100%. There was no malice, but it was the right decision.
We've just witnessed history there.
Why?
How many times in 2025 have we said that was the right decision?
I know. Don't happen a lot, does it?
No, it doesn't happen a lot at all, the old cherub.
Pressure on Jordan Jenkins here, and he's not on the well, anything other than gate 3 isn't a favoured gate, to be honest.
Basically, what you said.
But but the outside line is working, so if he can gate and get there first, he can go. But he's had a few slide offs recently as well, so his confidence might have took a bit of a whack for that.
Yeah, he did have one decent race, to be fair, at Kings Lynn on Monday night. But that was literally because he was chaperoned home. I think it was with Danny King.
Rerun of Heat 3, going off the inside gate in white, Justin Sedgman. Gate 2 is nobody because Mitch McDermott is disqualified. Gate 3 in yellow, Paco Castagna. Ref's not allowed a lot of time for Paco, really. And off the outside in red is Jordan Jenkins, the lone cheetah.
By name and by nature. Literally in this case.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we're just awaiting the start marshal then to bring these into order for heat number 3. And the start marshal walks away just about, and Paco's made a beautiful start there, and so has Justin Sedgman, and it is the Monarchs that are currently on a 5-1. Jenkins now hunting down both the Edinburgh Monarchs here, and if I speak, I'll get in trouble.
Oh, I don't know about that one. It looked like Sedgman had got a little bit out of shape.
Paco's just thinking, I was winning that. What the bloody hell's happened, pal?
This could be a match race. There'll definitely be an exclusion. The Reds are not on. JJ's got up. Both the Edinburgh boys slowed down and the Reds aren't on. Jenkins has remounted.
Oh. Well, we'll carry on then.
That would...
Paco still leads.
Yeah.
Paco still leads. Sedge's still in second. JJ's tootling round in third.
I've never...
Oh.
That would say to me that JJ knows if that would have been stopped, he'd have been out, and a 5-1 is better than a 5-0.
Basically, yeah. As they're going to the last lap now. Paco's still, like, he's that far in front. He could go to Italy, come back, and he'd still win the race. Sedge is there in second. He could also go to Italy, come back, and he'd still be second. And just like that, they've come first and second. Don't know when Jordan Jenkins is coming round.
That was strange. JJ's off again. He's in the fence on Ben too.
And no one come close to him that time.
His confidence must be low. I've never known him fall off this much, and that is a 5-0 to Edinburgh. He's come off a lot this year. That was the 100%. Most bizarre race I've seen for a long time. Paco had his hand up, like, what's going on? Sedge, and then they just sped up. That was really, really strange. I'd expect Jordan Jenkins will be disqualified for that. I don't think he's going to get up and push round. He looked like he was in a bit of pain, and that's going to be a 5-0 to Edinburgh. Heat number 3 was a win for the rider in yellow, Paco Castagna. Second in white, Justin Sedgman. 2 finishers only. Jordan Jenkins is disqualified with a race winning time of 67.03. That's no points to Oxford, 5 to Edinburgh, 6 points to 11 on the night. Oh dear, what a strange race.
Paco, it could have been 2 seconds slower now.
That was a strange one. But I don't think I've ever seen Jordan Jenkins crash as much as he has this season.
No, that's it's quite concerning.
And that one, he looked like he was in some discomfort. He was lodged between the fence and the bike. And the aggregate score now, 46 points to 61. 8 more points, Edinburgh. Come on, you know what you need to do. And that's a third.
Come on, chaps.
That's a third heat win out of 3 for Gate 3. While we've got a moment, we'll have a quick flick over to Poole. Poole won the toss and took 1 and 3 in Heat 1. As expected, the aggregate score is back level after Heat 1, with Richard Lawson taking the flag from Craig Cook, Tobias Thompson third, Sam Hagan at the back for the 4-2. Heat 2 was stopped due to an incident. Jack Smith fell and Darryl Richings got caught in his path. His bike seemed to bounce back and impact with a fence, and is being checked over by the paramedics. It doesn't say if anyone's being disqualified for that.
Oh.
It's a funny old night.
Time.
It's a funny old night of Speedway.
Basically, my son's got to British Speedway.
And while we've got a moment, what have you... Well, we've got a watch-along coming up tomorrow, first of all. What's your weekend looking like? JJ looks hurt, to be honest. He's holding his arm.
Yeah, he doesn't look great, does he?
And he's had a few issues with that arm and wrist area already, hasn't he, this year? So,
that he has.
This could be bad news for Oxford, who were, with respect, already depleted.
You leave my mate Luke alone. The Harrison kind, not the Colleen kind.
So what's the plans for the weekend? I know you've got a busy one on Friday. There's plenty of Speedway going on, actually, this weekend.
We've got a double header at Scunthorpe on Friday, so if you can get down, please do, because we need people to come through the crowd. Because we haven't got many coming at the minute, which is quite sad.
Seems to be a recurring theme in British Speedway at the moment, doesn't it? Small crowds.
Well, it is, but then you go to... obviously I went to Kings Lynn on Monday, and there was quite a hefty crowd there. Like each stand was virtually full, and dare to say there must have been 4,000 to 5,000 people there. I get it was a local derby, so you're probably going to get some more away support and everything. But yeah, so Friday night at Scunny, Saturday, watch the GP qualifying. Might buy the Workington stream, watch Workington versus Plymouth.
Because we've now got a vested interest in that one as well.
In Benbacker, yeah. And then watch the Grand Prix on Saturday. And then Sunday morning, wake up, watch Berwick versus Redcar. That was on BSN on Saturday night on Sunday morning.
That ain't a bad idea, that. And we've got a lot of we've got a lot of interest in this weekend as far as riders we're working with being in action.
Again, if you haven't seen the post on D&D Media's page earlier today, go and follow our friends. Because, you know, every page is always appreciative of a couple of extra likes.
We've just got a moment. I assume JJ's been checked over by the medics. They're actually taking a track grade, the water trucks out to stick a bit of that H20 stuff down. Viewers have dropped a touch. We're now down to 7. It's gone up again. If you're in the comments, drop us a comment. Keep us going while we need a bit of filler.
Yes, we could do with a little bit, couldn't we?
Jody Scott doing Mitch McDermott a solid there and lending him his brush to brush some of the shale off his kevies from his Heat 3 expedition.
What a boy. Looks like Laura Pollard's got a microphone in her hand and she's walking. Don't interview Shrek again, please.
Yeah, please don't.
Please don't interview Shrek
again. She's lingering
again.
by us now. She gave up with Sam. Sam was looking like, don't talk to me. Please don't talk to me.
To Tofty.
6 we're going to have one of them dodgy scores now with a 5-0, unless there's another 5-0 or a 3-2 or something back the other way.
It's going to be a dodgy one, innit? Have you just got a gut
dodgy
feeling it's going to be a long night as well?
Oh no, it's too warm for this, and we've got another one of these tomorrow with Leicester and Bellevue.
Bellevue.
So that'll be fun. I hope Leicester don't run out of water. Last time it was hot, they ran out of water and had to stop a meeting. And it wasn't as hot as it's supposed to be tomorrow on that day either.
Never forget the water shortage of Beaumont Park.
Honestly, just go to Perry Bar, bloody loads of it. You better still loads of it on the track now, 2 nights later.
Oh, that was
tad moist, weren't it? If that was
wet.
Carry on.
That was wetter than an otter's pocket, that much.
It was. Honestly, Noddy said it better on his BSN interview. I've seen meetings postponed for a waterlogged track with a track that wasn't that wet.
Basically, yeah. Geordie Scott being interviewed on BSN by Laura Pollard.
It's his breakout season this year, and it been now put up by Redcar and had a fantastic debut a couple of weeks ago. It seems like forever ago now that he's
been a while, hasn't it?
Been picking up some Rising Star guest bookings for Kings Lynn in the top league as well, and doing himself no harm in that. He's still riding in the National League for Oxford and the National Trophy for Kings Lynn. So he's a very busy old. That's why they won't sign Luke or Jody, because they have to drop National League racing if they do that. You can't.
That makes sense.
You can't race in the Premiership and the National League.
That makes sense now.
Yeah, you're not allowed to be a Rising Star and a National League rider. Suddenly, it all makes sense. And
so instead, we'll just switch between the two each meeting.
Which completely makes redundant the point of it. So essentially, Kings Lynn don't have a Rising Star at the moment because Ashton Bowden's taking a break. So he's not contracted now, so they don't have a rising star. So therefore, technically, their team is incomplete.
Question then.
Mm.
If Dan Jukes passes his fitness test and gets back on a bike in a couple of weeks, and Leicester say, thanks, Joe, for your efforts, but you're not needed anymore.
Do
Does,
Kings Lynn go after Joe? I don't
does,
think so, to be honest. Joe's confidence has gone in the top league. He just doesn't look anything like what he has been prior to that.
yeah, you've got a point.
Someone please
But
get in the comments and talk to us, please.
YouTube comments lady, are you still listening, love?
Update from Poole. Darryl Richings was a non-starter in Heat 2. I don't know whether that was equipment or injury or whatever, but he was a non-starter, and it was a 3-all with Poole Start taking the flag from Jack Smith, who caused that incident in the first place, and Darwood in third. Drew Kemp was in trouble at the back in the first turn of Heat 3 and was stopped. With it being first turn, I'd expect that to be a rerun with all four, but you never do know. But YouTube lady is still in the comments.
Is she really?
At least somebody's commenting for us.
Somebody's got to keep us entertained while we're waiting for...
It's a really long break, ain't it, this?
Does somebody just want to say Jordan Jenkins withdrawn?
Yeah.
Without saying Jordan Jenkins is withdrawn.
She says, sorry, I am listening. I mean, we are enough to put anyone to sleep.
We are. You have a very valid point.
What have we got coming up over the next few days? Then obviously tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. Leicester versus Bellevue watch along.
We're slowly becoming Leicester Lions TV as well now, aren't we?
Oxford TV, Poole TV, Leicester TV. Join the crew, pal.
There's one next Tuesday, the National Trophy meeting. Should it be streamed? We are reliably informed it will be, but you never do know. That could change. But the plan is to do the National Trophy meeting between the Plymouth Centurions and the Birmingham Bulls. Am I right in thinking BSN's on Wednesday and Thursday next week as well? It's definitely on Thursday. They're definitely on Thursday.
I could tell you that the Plymouth Centurions Birmingham Bills match has been purchased with my $13.99 credit.
What a boy!
Yes, you heard that right. Plymouth are charging £14 to watch a National League meeting.
You don't even have to pay that to go and watch it at the track.
Oh my God!
Oh my God! I had to question then whether this was live or not. It is. Line up of Heat 4, going off the inside gate in yellow, Geordie Loftus. Gate 2 in blue is Luke Killeen. Gate 3 in white, Michael Palm-Toft. And Gate 3 has had 3 winners so far. And off the outside in red is Cameron Heaps, who has become a little bit infamous for his crash here when Scunny were here a few weeks ago, with some news headlines saying he was lucky to be alive and stuff. I mean, it was a bad crash, but we've both seen worse. At Oxford, look at the one Schlein he had a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah.
I think the headlines were a little bit melodramatic.
He might have been a little bit dramatic there, Auntie. I mean, I know I've said some dramatic stuff in the past, but not quite that dramatic.
YouTube ladies around tomorrow. Love me some Leicester. Someone's got to, I suppose.
Somebody has to, because we certainly don't. So, heat number 4, then the tapes rise. Away we go to solid enough start there for Luke Killeen, but Michael Palmtoft looking to come round the outside of Killeen there, and Killeen shuts the door nicely on Palmtoft there, and I don't know who the bloody hell this is, but this isn't Luke Killeen. Who are you, and what have you done with the real Luke Killeen? Cameron Apes in third place over Geordie Loftus at the rear of the field, and to be honest with you, barring any form of mechanical failure to Luke Killeen, which, let's be honest, could happen. I don't see this changing. Geordie Loftus is basically stuck in Swindon, and Luke Colleen out in front. He's getting good again now, isn't he? As we've got one lap left to go then, and Luke Collins now about half a straight in front of Michael Palmtoft, who in turn is about a quarter of a straight in front of Cameron Eates. So it's going to be a 4-2 to the Cheetahs.
Is your mic fully plugged in? There's a bit of feedback coming off your mic in that one.
I'll double check in a moment, sir.
Good ride from Luke Killeen, that very smart ride. Michael Palmtoft was very brave on the extra bend too. We've saw Luke Killeen can get a little bit wayward at times, and I wouldn't like to be on the outside of him. But there's his signature bowing celebration, which he's become synonymous for this year. And the result of Heat 4 was a second win on the evening for the rider in blue, Luke Killeen, with a race winning time of 60.27. Second in white, Michael Palmtoft, and third in red, Cameron Heaps. 4-2 to Oxford, 10 points to 13 in Edinburgh's favour, 50 points to 63 on aggregate.
Tested, 1, 2, 3.
That's working now. No feedback either, which is nice.
Lovely jubbly. If you can hear a fan in the background, soz, I've got mine on, but it's bloody hot in the United Kingdom.
There is some feedback. Is your mic anywhere further down than it normally is? It sounds a little bit like it's trapped under your chins as you're talking. It's really strange.
Oh.
It's a sound. It's a form of feedback I hadn't heard before.
I've moved it up a bit. Is that any better?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll keep it like this then.
Is it somewhere near your eyeball now?
It's just above the eyebrows.
Bloody hell. And,
yeah, weird, but maybe it's time I got a new headphones with mic.
So, Michael Palmtoft gets shorter. Does he always use one of them airbags, or is this a new thing for this year?
I don't think I've ever seen him use one.
Nah, not me, but he's definitely got one tonight.
Nice to see he supported his local spa shop and bought himself some spa water.
What a boy.
It might not have been his local spa, like, but, you know.
Could have been the local spa to Oxford Stadium.
Could have been. Well, if you've never been to Oxford, have you?
Nah, I want to go next year, though. I mean, I could have gone this year when we're there, but that's next Thursday, and we've got to watch along to whatever's on BSN that night.
Sheffield and Leicester, what?
Sheffield and Leicester, that's the one.
Leicester, again?
Do a lot of Leicester, don't we? Oxford and Leicester. We should be getting some royalties for this.
Stuart Dixon, if you're listening, pal.
I mean, you are good mates with the promoter at Leicester now.
Big up Jen, yeah?
Do you think we see Michael Palmtoft back in the Premiership, or do you reckon Championship is where he's at and happy at now?
I think Toft is pretty happy with the Championship at the minute, to be honest. I think he's in a similar situation to Steve Worrell and Jake Allen, where he's got a full-time job as well. So just doing the one league isn't the worst thing in the world, and he'll still have holiday days left to enjoy it with his children and whatever parent speedway riders use their holiday days for.
I've just clicked on. How close is your fan to your face?
Pretty close.
That's what's giving the feedback. It's like you're walking through wind.
Is that a bit better?
Yeah, that was it. It was like the breeze was blowing at your face as you were talking, and it was kind of forming a big bubble.
Can I tap my microphone down
from your eyebrows? That was what it was. Luke Killeen's in for Jordan Jenkins in red in this one. Inside gate in red for Oxford, the reserve substitute Luke Killeen. Gate 2 in yellow, Kai Thompson. Gate 3 in blue is Mitch McDermott. And off the outside in white, Victor Palavara. I'd say that's probably the end of Jordan Jenkins' night. He did look uncomfortable when he was walking back into the pits, to be fair.
He did, and who knows, maybe that could be him out for an undisclosed amount of time.
And there is a distinct lack of rising stars, so Ipswich will be hoping that's not the case, especially with them racing. Is it tomorrow night?
I don't think we've got a meeting tomorrow.
Got a week off.
Yeah.
Mitch McDermott's helmet colours are funky, full name and racing number on them.
Somebody must like him enough to put all that effort in. So,
I don't envy this start marshal in this suit. He's trying to get McDermott to move over. McDermott's ignored him and he's moved.
Start marshal was away. The takes rise for heat number 5. Luke Colleen's made it again, but Victor Palavara just blasts himself round the outside. Luke Colleen's coming back up the inside, to be fair to him. Luke Colleen proved to be
where's he going?
Tonight, but, don't know where Mitch the Mermaid was going there, but Kai Thompson's somewhere near the back, but he's putting some pressure down on Luke Colleen. Luke Colleen has just shut the door nicely, and Victor Palavara, it's the first time he's seen this Oxford circuit, and he's certainly making it his Oxford circuit. And to be fair, the two Oxford boys in second and third, rather than protecting each other, they're racing each other, and if the camera could pan back, it was neck and neck when Luke Colleen and Kai Thompson was coming down the back straight, and Kai Thompson now looks to have done Luke Colleen just, so we've got a very interesting last lap here, but it looks like the Oxford, the Edinburgh Monarchs are going to extend their lead, and Luke Colleen's maximum comes to an end.
Mitch McDermott two-wheeled it from somewhere near the pit gate all the way around for him. It looked like he was going to stack it or clean someone out, and he somehow made it work.
That he did.
Victor Palavara looks fantastic, and you already know that the Oxford fans are going to be saying, "Oh, can we get him into the Spires team, please?"
I'm already dreading him coming to Scunny on the 25th of July.
Result of Heat 5 was another win for the rider in white, Victor Palavara, with a race winning time of 60.21. Second in blue, Mitch McDermott, and third in yellow, Kai Thompson. 2 points to Oxford, 4 to Edinburgh. And the progressive scores on the night: 12 points to Oxford, 17 to Edinburgh, and we need Oxford to get a 4-2 in the next one to get that magic number. Gate stats after 5 heats. Gate 1 has no wins, Gate 2 has 1 win, Gate 4 has 1 win, Gate 3 has 3 wins. So 3 is fantastic, but Gate 1 is not. Gate 1's got a paid win with Justin Sedgman in Heat 3, but to be fair, there was no real threat from an Oxford rider, so it would have took some amount of skill to not got a paid win out of that.
Oh, 100%.
The outside line's definitely working already. Very early on, actually.
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, 100%.
Victor Palavara looks fantastic.
Oh, it does. He genuinely could be the best signing of the championship this season.
He could be the best signing in British Speedway this season. Mitch McDermott looks a little bit uncomfortable. It's like the track's foreign to him.
It is.
The
number 6.
Lineup of Heat 6 going off the inside gate, the gate that's worked so well so far. Michael Palm-Toft, Gate 2 in red, who will not take lightly to being beaten first time out, Sam Masters. Gate 3 in yellow is Jonathan Grant, and off the outside in blue is Luke Harrison. Jonathan Grant on the favoured gate, but you can't look past Sam Masters for this one.
It's Tofty time.
Off a gate that's not had a winner so far.
Not yet. And I don't think it's going to come this race either. Soz Tofty, pal. So, heat number 6 then. Luke's helmet looks a little bit
Luke's
dirty.
a little bit filled in, isn't he?
Start Master walked away for heat number 6. The tapes right away we go. It's a solid start there for Sam Masters, who gets himself into that lead, and Luke Harrison getting mixed up there with the two Monarchs boys there, and Sam Masters, he's just doing Sam Masters things and like winning races at Oxford. And Michael Pantoff looks pretty settled there in second. To be honest, the race now looks very, very settled, barring any form of mechanical failures or little slidey offs and stuff like that. Luke notoriously struggles around this place, and it's proving so tonight. Sam Masters in this one, he just looks a class ahead of everybody, doesn't he? Luke's closing in on Jonathan Grant. To be fair, one mistake from Jonathan and Luke will probably be through as they come around the final bends. Sam Masters takes his first win of the evening, but the Monarchs keep that 5-point lead. And
Wow. Luke nearly made that inside work exiting bend 2 on the first lap. Just got crowded out by an out of shape Mark Palmtoft. If Palmtree had been in shape that Luke expected him to be in, I think he'd have got past, to be honest. The result of Heat 6 was a win for the rider in red, Sam Masters, with a winning time of 60.53. Second in white, Mark Palmtoft, and third in yellow, Jonathan Grant. Points divided 3 apiece, and it's now Oxford 15, Edinburgh 20, and on the aggregate it is 55 points to 70.
well,
Luke snaked from the start as well, which didn't help.
no, 100%.
He nearly makes the perfect cutback though, he nearly gets them both.
Yeah, I think, Tofty just didn't really do him any favours, did he? But
a little bit of payback from them Heat 13s last year at Scunny where Luke replaced Tofty.
yeah,
I bet that one felt good to the old palm tree. Luke had some speed on him, but yeah, it's not ideal. Everyone's on the same line, and you're not going to pass people with follow the leader.
have you noticed this evening? There seems to be a lot of riders tonight getting out of shape on this track.
Yeah, it's holding up well to the weather so far, though. Line-up of heat number 7, going off the inside gate in red for Oxford is Cameron Heaps, gate 2 in white Justin Sedgman, gate 3 in blue is Jody Scott, and off the outside in yellow Paco Castagna. Now on paper you'd fancy Edinburgh here after the first heat this pairing had, but you can never rule Cameron Heaps out, although I think he'd rather be off the outside at the moment with how the track's going, not off gate 1.
Yeah, I don't think that gate 1 win's coming this race either. Soz Cam.
Jody Scott's on the favoured gate, and if he can gate, he could have a say in this though.
Massively. And Jody Scott's a tidy little rider.
Gate 2 is coming into its own a little bit now as well, and Sedgy can trap, so if he can go.
You do have a point, me old China. Heat number 7 then.
I don't envy this start marshal in that suit in this weather.
No, neither do I. I mean, I'm just wearing shorts and a smile. I'm very, very warm, so...
Yeah, it's warm, and we ain't built for this weather. Fat people are not built for this weather.
No, certainly not. I'm starting after I'm up to way for race number 7. Tapes right away we go, and it's a decent start for Cameron Apes there, but Justin Sedgman now looking to come around the outside of Cameron Apes. Cameron Apes blocks that run. Nice. This Sedgy just comes up the inside there, and Cameron Apes again blocks that run nicely from Sedgy. But what the bloody hell's Jody Scott doing there is just got a little bit too out of shape there, and yeah, it looks like a settled 3-3 again, although Cameron Heaps doing a bucking bronco on his bike, coming down the back straight there. Almost give me visions of last time he rode at Oxford. Rivers down the spine and all of that. Cameron Heaps, not Cameron Heaps, Justin Sedgman also looked very uncomfortable coming out of the first turn there. And damn, it would help if I started actually saying the right names, as we've got one left to go. Cameron Heaps is out there in front. But again, that first bend's tricking these guys out. I'm not too sure what's up with the first bend, but Cameron Yates takes his first race win back from injury.
And now every gate's had a race win. Track needs a little bit of
Cam,
water in it though, I think. It's drying out really quick. There is dust kicking up now.
Pal, I'm sorry I ever doubted you. You're very lucky to be alive and winning that race.
Result of Heat 7 was a win for the rider in red, Cameron Heaps, with a race winning time of 61.11. Track is slowing down now. Second in white, Justin Sedgman, and third in yellow, Paco Castagna, 3 apiece, 18 points to 23, the progressive score. And the aggregate score reads
58.73.
58.73. There will be a track grade now. They need to put a bit of water down. We'll have a quick flick over to Poole, and then I think we'll take a quick breather.
I think we need a little 5 minutes now, don't we?
The rerun of heat number 3 was won by Zach Cook, with Daniel Hume second and Anders Rowan third. Drew Kemp was disqualified for his fall at the back. The unfortunate news is Darryl Richings has withdrawn from the meeting. His final meeting at Poole has ended prematurely. It's a shame because I think he'd have got a few points tonight against these Berwick reserves, to be honest.
He should do, really, shouldn't he? Yeah, what a sad way to end a Poole. Well, it might not be the end of his Poole career. Who knows? But he's definitely shown that he's worthy of a championship spot.
Heat 4, the person who came in to replace him, who many Poole fans want to be sacked to keep, Darryl, Paul Stark, fell at the back. It was won by Lewis Kerr, with Leon Flint and Jack Smith packing in the places. And the score after 4 heats is 14 points to 10 in Poole's favour. Wildcard track grade will take a breather.
Let's take a minute. Hello, everybody. We have returned. I have relocated from an area that's not very cold to an area that is a lot cooler and more bearable. So, yeah, weird scoreline it is.
Luke keeps his spot and he's on the favoured gate as well now.
What a boy.
Heat number 8. I don't think that's Geordie Loftus in
It's Jonathan
Jonathan
Grant.
Grant. Yeah, it's changed. Heat 8 going off the inside gate in blue is Luke Killeen. Reserve change in yellow off gate 2. Jonathan Grant replaces Geordie Loftus. Gate 3 in red is Luke Harrison. And off the outside in white, Kai Thompson. With the scores at a 5 points difference on the night. And a 15 points difference on aggregate. For the aggregate point, let alone the win on the night, Oxford need to step it up a little bit. Edinburgh need just 17 more points to at least go away from here with the aggregate point. But from this position, they'd like to be taking all the points on offer, I think.
100%. Luke Harrison looks awful in that Photoshop BSN. If you're listening, pal.
Photoshopped him onto jokes, didn't they?
Yeah. You can't put a midget onto a tall man. So, Star Marshal then walks away for heat number 8. Takes right away. We got a solid start there from the guy in yellow there, Jonathan Grant. He's got both the Oxford boys there, and Luke Colleen's gone. Luke
Oh
Colleen,
God!
Luke Colleen don't know what the bloody hell to do there, and to be fair, don't know what Kai Thompson's doing. Luke Harrison's moved himself into second place now, and Jonathan Grant's in the front, and now Kai Thompson comes back on the outside there with Luke Colleen. Everything's bloody happening here today. What a weird night of racing we've got. Now Luke's trying to kill himself in third now. Oh my God, boys, just stay on the bikes, please. We can't afford any more delays. We've got beds to go to tonight. As the Monarchs looking to take a 5-1 here and extend their lead. Jonathan Grant looks very impressive in this one, to be fair. And fair play to him for looking all right in this one. And it's now a little bit more settled, and it doesn't look like anyone's going to come off as we come around the last 2 bends of the race. And we all survived.
Luke Harrison needs to get some balls and move a little bit wider. He's riding far too conservative. The line is wider and he's persisting with that inside, and there's nothing there.
The worst bit is, if this was at Scunny,
he'd be flying round the boards. Yeah.
Right.
He's persisting far too much on that inside, and there's nothing there. The result of heat 8 was a win for the rider in yellow, Jonathan Grant, with a winning time of 60.16. Second in white, Kai Thompson, and third in red, Luke Harrison. 5-1 to Edinburgh. Luke Killeen made a good start, but got all out of shape in the first and second turn, and that was his race over. And Oxford are now in tactical territory on home shale. Luke snaked again as well off 3. He was there, and he did go what Luke Killeen getting out of shape put Luke in a position he didn't want to be, and he got stuck in no man's land.
100%.
But he persisted with that inside line, and there's nothing down there. The 2 Edinburgh boys got in each other's way in that third and fourth turn in the first one as well.
There was just racing each other, wasn't there?
Yeah, I don't think Grant knew that Kai was there, but with Luke persisting with that inside no man's land style line, it didn't take a lot for Thompson to get back around the outside of him.
No, 100%.
And Geordie Loftus comes in yellow in this one, so they're swapping the reserves back here.
What the reserves round.
Jordan Jenkins is back out though, and he's off the favoured gate 3. Although gate 2's got the same amount of wins now. Line up of heat 9, going off the inside gate in blue. Mitch McDermott, gate 2 in white, Michael Palmtoft. Gate 3 in red is Jordan Jenkins, and off the outside in yellow, reserve change back, Geordie Loftus. And as you said earlier, there's a big step up between Championship and Championship and National League, and Geordie Loftus is finding out he'll get better. It's only his Championship debut. He's at Redcar on Friday. He did well there on last Sunday, so at least he'll be going back somewhere that he's already raced and will sort of know a setup.
You'd certainly like to think so.
Mitch McDermott's not been very good since moving into the main body, has he? 2 points so far from his 2 outings.
No. If he can keep this form up till Saturday, that'd be great. Please, thanks, and all of that. Anybody think Scully had Oxford coming up on Friday?
Don't know what you're talking about.
You know, it's not like we've got them twice in the same night.
Jordan Jenkins ain't happy having to wait for Michael Palm-Toft, but he's well within his 2 minutes, so...
He is, and time's there to be used as the tapes rise to heat number 9. Away we go, JJ's made it. JJ's there, and to be fair, so is the Mermaid. Now, could JJ stay on his motorcycling machine? That is the question. Is JJ's, to be fair, is just riding the right lines now, and Palm just closing in on McDermott, but McDermott again, just holding the right lines, and this was the frustrating thing with Palmtoft at Scunny as well. He looks far too settled when he's in a scoring position. So, he knows. It's almost like he'll probably get 100 quid for coming third here, as an example. I don't know what he's on at Edinburgh, but he doesn't want to put a lot of fighting to get a second place here, and this will bring the Cheetahs back into the meeting. It's getting closer between Palmtoft and McDermott, but not enough to stop the 5-1 here, and that lead suddenly comes back down to 5.
JJ had his arm off the handlebar coming over the line. He's definitely in some discomfort with that left arm.
He's not right, is he?
He's holding the wrist now. This is going to be an adrenaline getting him through the rest of this meeting, and that'll be his night done. Although he's about to use the left hand to shake hands with McDermott. Michael Palm-Toft made a really good start and then just looked like he shit his kegs in the first and second turn, and that was done in, like you say, he looked a bit too comfortable. Result of heat number 9 was a win for the rider in red, Jordan Jenkins, race time of 61.42. Second in blue, Mitch McDermott, and third in white, Michael Palm-Toft. 5-1 to Oxford, 24 points to 29, the progressive score on the night, and that just edges Gate 3's advantage again. And the aggregate score is 64-79, 5 points more for Oxford, and we get the magic number. We got another bite at the cherry. Palm-Toft made a beautiful gate, and then I don't quite know what he's doing there. He can't decide whether to go wide or cut back, and he just ends up looking like a bit of an idiot.
He just stays in that no man's land, doesn't he?
And that was it.
That fabulous destination that we always go to.
I hope it's a bit cooler than where we are at the moment.
I mean, to be fair, my bathroom's very, very cool.
She's getting a little bit processional now as well.
It's not getting great, is it?
And with Sam Masters and... I mean, I would have said potentially Luke Killeen coming in, but after his unbeaten start, 2 last places in his last 2, but Luke Killeen is coming in.
That is Luke Killeen. Justice for Luke Harrison. I know Luke Harrison's
been crap.
Not been
to be honest.
Great.
Been crap. He's riding too conservatively. Far too conservatively. So I ain't surprised to see this. But Luke Killeen's not been very good in his last couple either.
If anything, I'd probably put Jody Scott in here, but...
Get his third ride out of the way. The line-up of heat number 10 going off the inside gate in blue. Reserve change for Oxford. Luke Killeen replaces Luke Harrison. Gate 2 in yellow, Paco Castagna. Gate 3 in red, Sam Masters. And off the outside in white, Justin Sedgman. Sedgy and Sam just having a bloody chinwag. Just sat having a chinwag.
Past Monarchs number 1s, isn't it?
Well, you've got a point.
No, but it's the same number of points this stream as Luke Harrison. Get in. Oh, it's been a long night. It's been a long day.
And it's just got to get warmer.
I've got a driving lesson tomorrow. Yay.
They still have
Heat
aircon.
number 10. Heat number 10 then, and it's a very good start there for Luke Killeen off gate 1 in the blue colour, and Sam Masters is there with him. And now the rider in yellow there, Paco Castagna, giving some fight to not Luke Harrison, Luke Killeen. Soz Luke. But it is the Cheetahs that are currently still on a 5-1. Paco not giving up. Sedgy looks completely out of it, to be honest, this one. But yeah, the Monarchs are going to hit that target number on aggregate if it stays like this. And me and Dole, because we're very immature people, will have a little cheer. Maybe not, because Paco Castagna's just said, thanks for opening the door, Luke. I'm going to come through. Now, what can Luke Killeen do? Is very close, and Killeen's done him again. We said racing was getting processional here. It's getting better again. And now we're on course for the magic number again as we come round to turn 3 and 4, I believe, for the last time. I don't know what the bloody hell Luke's doing there, but way!
We got a magic number. And that brings
only 1 point in
it
it
to
now.
within 1 point. And if Jordan Jenkins hadn't have fell in heat 3, it would be level now. Edinburgh have gone to sleep. They're being made to look really silly at this point. But they've got Victor Palavara out next, who's unbeaten against Cameron Heaps and Jody Scott. So Luke Killeen with a banging wheelie. Good ride from Luke there, and that's why they brought him in. He will screw it on and go wide, and he did. The result of E10 was a win for the rider in red, Sam Masters, winning time 60.45, second in blue Luke Killeen, and third in yellow Paco Castagna. 5-1 to Oxford, 29 points to 30 the progressive score, with an aggregate score of, come on BSN, do us a solid.
69 to something.
Yeah, 69 to 70, 88.
To 80.
Yeah. So Edinburgh still just need 10 points now to get the aggregate point wrapped up. They're 11 points ahead for that. That was done from the start, to be honest. Paco had a bit of pace, but it was more because of Luke Killeen's mistakes that Paco got close rather than Paco doing anything spectacular.
Yeah, basically. While we're on the subject of the magic number, if you add the numbers up in the winning time to 60 plus 4 plus 5, what do you get?
Way!
See, it was an all-round magical heat 10, that.
Good ride from Luke Killeen. Paco had other ideas there, but that was just because Luke got in no man's land. He quickly screwed it back on and straight around him. Paco's riding that inside as well. Yeah, not wide enough
100%.
either. We're straight on with heat 10. And Jonathan Grant is out. No, Victor Palavara is out here. All the bike covers look the bloody same.
All the Swedes try to go the similar route, don't they?
Swedes plus Sedgman.
Yeah, basically.
Luke Killeen's being interviewed.
He looks far too happy. Is that because he's talking to a woman, or is that because he's scoring points?
I love that Luke Killeen's got the Australian flag, but he's classed as British.
He's got the Australian flag. He should be classed as an Aussie.
Yeah, should.
Stealing places from riders like, I don't know, Jamie Effrington.
Heat 11, I imagine there'll be an interval after this one. There usually is. Line up off Heat 11, going off the inside gate in white, unbeaten so far, Victor Palavara. Gate 2 in red is Cameron Heaps. Gate 3 in yellow, Kai Thompson. And off the outside in blue is Jody Scott. Edinburgh will be looking for a heat advantage in this one. Although Cameron Heaps looked impressive enough in his last one. But Victor Palavara's looked rapid.
He has, massively.
Jody Scott's looked, it's a track that he ain't particularly used to with how it's set up.
He doesn't look comfortable on it, does he? So start match for Monarchs away for heat number 11. Takes right away. It's a beautiful start left for the rider in yellow, which was Kai Thompson. But Victor Palavara's got there, and Cameron Heaps has just blasted himself round the outside there. That was a bit of an unfair racing move there. But the rider in yellow now, Kai Thompson, gets himself around Jody Scott in a blue helmet colour there now. These two Monarchs just need to team ride each other home, and Cameron Heaps will be giving Victor Palavara his first defeat of the evening. But this track It looks so weird. It's so slick, but it's so grippy at the same time.
Yeah.
It's mad.
Strange.
It's a mix. It's literally half of it is Scunthorpe, half of it is Kings Lynn. That's the only way to describe it. They've got one night left to go. It's going to be a free all. The Monarchs are going to keep that 1 point lead, barring any form of mechanical failure for Mr. Cameron Heaps that's at the front of the field. But it doesn't look like anything like that's going to happen. And it's going to be a 3-3. Bye-bye, magic number.
Stevie Wonder can see that the line's on the outside, so why, for the last 3 races, have the Edinburgh riders all decided to go inside and no man's land in the mid-track? Like, if idiots like me and you can see that you need to be on the outside, why can't he see that you need to be on the outside?
The key period does talk about no man's land. I think, well, we'll go there if they keep raving on about it. Sounds like a good night out.
The result of Heat 11 was a win for the rider in red, Cameron Heaps, winning time 61.21, second in white, first defeat of the night, Victor Palavara, third in yellow, Kai Thompson, 3-all, 32-33 on the night, and 72-83 on aggregate, 3 points close to the aggregate point for Edinburgh. I think, to be honest, they're probably more worried about getting that home and hose now. Palavara made a good start and then just decides to persist on that inside line where there's nothing. Cameron Heaps goes wide and flies around him like he stood still.
Basically, yeah. Kai Thompson made a decent start as well there, but Heaps nearly put him in the fence, to be fair. Looking at the replay again. Again, Cheetahs by name, Cheetah by nature. Oxford, innit? But yeah.
Kai Thompson's going wide. He's the only Edinburgh rider doing that.
He's the only one to try it, isn't he?
Yeah, none of the rest of them have gone anywhere near there yet. But we are coming up to Paco time in 14. That's the heat that Paco normally turns up in.
It's nearly Paco time, baby.
And I stand by what I've said before. Paco Castagno's riding better in the Premiership than he is in the Championship.
Paco wants to go watch himself on the telly. He thinks, no, back of my head's ugly, I'll turn round.
And Geordie Loftus, is it Geordie Loftus or Jonathan Graham?
I think that's Jonathan Graham.
Might be, don't know.
He looks Swedish.
What does Swede? Has he got a big blue and yellow flag on him?
Maybe it's blue and yellow. It's weird, but the Swedes all have a certain look about it, like what this geezer's got. It's like the Poles; they all look like serial killers.
God. Oh God. Shall we have an update from Poole?
Oh, go on then, if you insist.
Heat 5, Poole was a 5-1 to the Pirates. Zach Cook took the win from Anders Rowe, Craig Cook, Sam Hagan at the back. Heat 6 was another 5-1 to Poole with Tobias Thompson Anders Thompson, Christ. The Donut Man, the cult hero of D&D Media, taking the win from Richard Lawson with Leon Flint in third. Heat 7 was another 5-1 to Poole with Lewis Kerr taking the win from Paul Stark and Drew Kemp. Danny Hume fell whilst in second, and Heat 8 stopped the rot a little bit with a 3-all Sam Hagan getting his first points of the night with a winning effort over Tobias Thompson and Paul Stark, with Jack Smith at the rear of the field. Heat 9, Craig Cook replaces Georgie Wood to partner Leon Flint as a tactical substitute against Anders Rowe and Zach Cook. Zach Cook's unbeaten so far. Dale Wood. There's too many Woods, too many Cooks, too many everything. The Heat. It's the Heat.
It's the Heat.
So looking at the individual scorers so far for that, Richard Lawson's unbeaten from 2 with 5 and 1. Tobias Thompson's on 6 from 3. Anders Rowe 3 and 1 from 2. Zach Cook 6 from 2. Louis Kerr 6 from 2. Paul Stark 6 and 2 from 4. Darryl Richings withdrew. Craig Cook 3. Sam Hagan 3 from 3. Danny Hume 2 from 2. Drew Kemp 1 from 2. Well, that's put the mockers on him a little bit, isn't it? Leon Flint 3 from 2. Darwood 1 and 1 from 2. And Jack Smith 3 and 1 from 3. And it's 32 points to 16 after 8.
Drew's having a bad night because we picked him as a 1-to-1.
Yeah, we've put the mockers on him. Crowd at Oxford doesn't look fantastic tonight, does it?
doesn't look great, does it?
It's the difficulty when you run three. If you got a season ticket to a couple of them, you'll be there. But look how sparse that turn is.
Yeah. But again, it's a recurring theme in British Speedway. We're in a cost of living prices at crisis, and people just can't afford it.
No, and that's the risk of running three leagues, unfortunately.
I mean, even though I've been off work, I would say I'm not entirely rich, but I'm better off than a few people. And to
Yeah.
be fair, getting into King's Lynn, I know obviously Cheetahs, King's Lynn, different kettle of fish. But it was 24 quid to get into King's Lynn. Now, if you're a single person that don't really have much of a life, you could probably afford to do that. But if you're a family, you've got to think that's 48 quid for your adults, and I think kids were like a five each. That's 58 quid to get in.
Christ. It's one of the few
Is
tracks
that
that charge for kids. Most tracks do kids for the pound. I know Birmingham do kids under 16 free.
yeah? I think can't remember if it's under 16s or under 18s go free at Scunny. I think it's under 18s.
Yeah, that's expensive for the kids' admission, a fiver.
I know Scunny's used to be a fiver for kids because back in the day when my dad used to give me my pocket money every week, a whole 10 quid a week. Five of it was used to get into Scunny.
He could have just put it all together and gave you a Scuddy season ticket, couldn't he?
Well, if only Scunny did season
You got
tickets.
a point. You've got a point. Shall we take a breather while these are gone interval?
Let's take a breather. And we are back on. I was just discussing fixtures, then we look up and they're all at the tapes.
Line up 3, 12, going off gate 1 in yellow Jonathan Grant, gate 2 in red Jordan Jenkins, gate 3 in white Justin Sedgman, and gate 4 in blue is, I think, Luke Killeen.
The lead's programmed.
Yeah, that's who it is then. I don't think we'll see Jody Scott again tonight, to be honest.
Jody Scott's got more for Kingsland on Monday than what he has for Peter Shrek tonight. Peter Shrek must be fuming.
Sedgy needs to better performance in this one. He was a bit crap in the last one, weren't he?
He wasn't great, was he?
There's been no real decisions to be made yet, no referee taking over.
No, other than the one at the start of the meeting as the tape tries for heat number 12, and it's the two Edinburgh Monarchs boys that get their first. Jordan Jenkins looking to come up the inside of them both, and it is that man, Jonathan Grant, that still has the lead. Justin Sedgman looking to come round the outside of Jordan Jenkins there, but Jenkins just shuts the door nicely on Sedgy. Sedgy goes back wide again now. What could Sedgy do? He's picked up the speed and he's done him. So the Monarchs currently on a 5-1 advantage now. What will Jordan Jenkins do? Will he repay the compliment, or will he just sit back, relax, and chill out in third place? Luke Colleen's not looking like the rider that he has been this evening on this track here in, well, what we're watching in Oxford. I mean, we're both sat at our houses as we come into the last lap. Jonathan Grant's going to pick himself up a second consecutive heat win. He's been really impressive tonight, and he'll certainly get my vote for it rider of the meeting if BSM do one this evening, and the Monarchs extend their lead.
I think that was a confidence thing with JJ. He didn't look like he felt like he had the maybe the feeling in that arm to go as wide as he needed to go. He knew what he wanted to do, but if he's not 100% in that left arm, it was safer for him to not. And he looked like that as well, to be honest. But a brilliant ride from both the Edinburgh boys. And this time it was the Oxford boys riding the inside, and Edinburgh actually went wide. Brilliant game from Jonathan Grant off one. JJ was there as well.
He was.
And that inside worked a touch. Jonathan blitzed round him like he was stood still. And Sedgy then got around the outside of him as well. JJ fought it back, but the speed he picks up exiting bend 2 now. And then that was all she wrote really. Luke Killian was never really in it.
Mm, 100%.
Result of heat 12 was a win for the rider in yellow Jonathan Grant. Winning time 60.49, second in white Justin Sedgman, and third in red Jordan Jenkins. 1 point to Oxford, 5 to Edinburgh, and it's now 33-38 progressively. And it's 73-88 on aggregate, with just 2 points needed for the aggregate point for the Monarchs, with Victor Palavara in this one, and Mark Palm Toft had brain fart then, but then to be fair, Sam Masters and Cameron Heaps have been solid as well. Line up for 13, going off gate 1 in red, Sam Masters, gate 2 in white Victor Palavara, gate 3 in blue Cameron Heaps, and off the outside in yellow Mark Palm Toft. After the last race with Palm Toft and he just settled in, I think there's a bit more pressure on Victor to get the points in this one, to be honest.
It's a bit, isn't there?
And gate 4's been awful, 1 win all night. Gate 1 has had 2, gate 2 has had 4, gate 3 has had 5, gate 4 has had 1.
Stats.
And
did you know Michael Pamtoff hasn't scored any bonus points in 2025?
Well, he has only had one meeting so far?
Correct. This is second.
But we forget about facts. Who needs facts?
Who needs facts?
When
fiction's better.
They just get in the way of a good story, don't they?
They do.
Sam Masters will be looking to get one back over Victor Palavara after heat 1. And the BSN stats showing that this heat generally produces 3 alls. If it does produce a 3 all or even a 4-2 to Oxford, then Edinburgh will wrap up the bonus point with 2 races to go.
But there was a Starmaster walks away for heat number 13.
Something's gone wrong.
Something's gone wrong?
I don't think the green light came on. Mark Palmtoff noticed it straight away. Something's gone wrong.
Something's not right. Maybe they'll have to test the tapes.
Yeah, Michael Palmtoff noticed instantly that something was right, and now all the riders have gone back to have a look. They're being called back up to the start now.
Hopefully everything goes well.
I'll never understand why the start marshal looks up at the ref like, what's he going to do? Sign language to you what he wants.
That's normally what
What's
happens.
Michael
Toff did
Palmtoff?
it again.
What's going on? Someone put the tapes up. What's going on? We can't hear or see anything. There's something. Sam's not happy with something.
If I was to hazard a guess, there's probably electrical faults with the tapes.
Yeah, 'cause they ain't going up at all, are they? Maybe we should
No.
do a test before we do anything else.
That would be the sensible idea.
Oh, was it something to do with these? No, they're just zooming in.
No, because they're
They're in the
they're behind
safety
the,
area, yeah. So
they're
what's...
behind the
It's
barriers.
something on the outside of the track, because Palmtoff's looked at it twice. Unless there was a photographer standing somewhere where they weren't happy with.
It wouldn't be the first time that's happened at Oxford this year. Right, we'll try again for the third time. Tofty didn't hold back that time. Sam Masters has absolutely got their way as electric, and what the bloody hell's Cameron Heap's doing there is going round the outside of Victor Palavaro to get the Oxford Cheetahs onto a 5-1. No, what could Palavaro do? Palavaro looks to use the inside run. Inside run's not working, pal. Use the outside. Get your really big bollocks out and just blast round the outside. And if this stays like it is with Sam Masters in front, Cameron Heaps the second, Victor Palavaro third, Michael Palmtoff at the back, it's going to come within 1 point, which is going to lead to a big finish of the meeting. But we're not going to get a super treat because we had a weird score earlier. We've got one lap left to go then. And yeah. Cheetahs on a 5-1. The Monarchs boys look out of it. Now, to be honest, as Sam Masters.
This is where Edinburgh need to reshuffle their order and put Sedgy at 5 and put Palmtoft in the middle order.
Yes.
The him at number 5 was never going to be a good idea, and that's just proved it there. And that was
it's all right.
That was as easy as you like for Oxford.
It's Paco time, baby.
It is Paco time. Heat number 13 was a win for the rider in red, Sam Masters, with a winning time of 61.21. Second in blue, Cameron Heaps, and third in white, Victor Palavara. 5-1 to Oxford, 38-39 on the night, and 78-89 on aggregate. Look at that for maths.
Oh, look at that.
Beautiful. And that's the aggregate point wrapped up for Edinburgh because, as you said, the dodgy score earlier.
Yeah, 100%.
With only 10 points still available to Oxford, they can only reach a maximum of 88 points on aggregate. So that's that wrapped up. So Edinburgh takes something for their efforts from tonight. Although from the position that we're in earlier, they will be hoping that it's more. And you've got to think Jonathan Grant comes in 14 to partner Paco. Cameron Heaps looks a little bit ginger though. Walking gingerly, not ginger hair colour. He looks a little bit...
His hair does look a bit ginger as well.
It does, yeah. He looks like he's walking really gingerly.
That reminds me, we need to message that mechanic there with the Grant Henderson tanker's hat.
Oh, is that Steve Norman?
That's big Steve Norman. As expected, I think Luke Killeen takes his 7th Friday replaced to Cody Scott.
Jonathan Grant comes in yellow. The full lineup of E14, Paco time off gate 1 in white. Paco Castagna, gate 2 in blue is Luke Killeen, a reserve change for Jody Scott. Gate 3 in yellow, a reserve change for Geordie Loftus, it's Jonathan Grant. And off the outside in red is Mitch McDermott. On paper, you'd fancy the riders off 2 and 3, the 2 reserve changes.
Oh, this is Heat 14. This is Paco's race.
Until we get to the first turn and Paco's out of it, and then it's not Paco's race anymore. We'll rename it the Jonathan Grant race.
Paco's 2026 SGP vision and all of that.
Good evening, Callum Steele. I don't know what's going to come first, Paco in the Grand Prix or me being dead.
Probably Paco in the Grand Prix. Mush, you've got a few years left. Did you get Mush?
To be fair, we are both fat. We've got nothing guaranteed, Bush.
No, this start Marshall can relate. The tape's right there for each one team. Paco's there. It's Paco time, baby. Mitch McDermott looking to come all the way around. Oh, that could have been carnage there. Paco's still got lead. Mitch McDermott there in second. Paco goes wide. Mitch McDermott looks to come inside. Paco says, "Oh no, you're not. I'm shutting that door." And Paco's just extending his lead. What could Jonathan Graham do? He's had a very solid evening this evening, and he's not really challenging Mitch McDermott. But McDermott there looking very uncomfortable coming out of turns 3 and 4. Luke leans towards the rear of the field. He's realised he's a bit crap as we come round the turns 3 and 4 for the penultimate time. And now there's a battle at the back. Luke Lee's come underneath Jonathan Grant. So Luke Lee goes really wide. Jonathan Grant comes back underneath, and now with the neck going down the back straight.
He's going to kill.
Luke Lee's just about got there as he. Yes, it's free. It was Paco time, baby.
That was a weird one. Jonathan Grant had that all wrapped up, and suddenly Luke Killeen was there. Luke Killeen is such an untidy rider. He never, ever looks in control, does he?
If there's any Scunthorpe riders watching this, I apologise now because you may die on Friday because Luke Killeen's there.
Luke Harrison playing the team role here as well. He's only a guest, but he's out there congratulating. Mitch McDermott's hit his arm off the fence. I ain't surprised he was all kinds of out of shape coming down the back straight on the first lap. And the result of
coming off the fence then?
The result of E13 was a win for the rider in white, Paco Castagna. Paco time, winning time 60.93. That was quick for this time of the night. Second in red, Mitch McDermott, and third in blue, Luke Killeen. 3-all, 41-42 on the night. The aggregate points gone, so we don't need to talk about that anymore.
Basically, yeah.
And to be fair, the standout gates here, Oxford will have choice, and they're definitely going to pick 1 and 3.
Yeah, and to be fair, looking at the scorecard,
sodding hell is McDermott doing there?
I thought he wanted to kill Graham. I really did.
I thought he wanted to kill himself. He's been so untidy tonight, isn't he?
I'm fearful for my riders on Friday.
Hopefully the Scunny boys can trap and just clear off and let him wipe his own teammates out rather than the opposition.
I mean, the track certainly almost definitely will not be as dry as this.
You got a point.
Someone called Rachel Shoots has requested to follow me on Instagram. Let's have a look.
Is it a photographer?
If the word shoots it, I would imagine so, but there's nothing on the page. That's a bit sad. Put something on your page, pal.
Well, I don't understand how Jonathan Grant's let that position go. It was harder to screw that up than it was to hold on. I thought Luke Killeen was wiping out McDermott in that third and fourth turn as well.
I think we all did.
Well, both of us that can see this. Kai Thompson's going in 15.
Oh my God. And there was me about...
Victor Palavara and Kai Thompson are the pairing for Edinburgh in 15.
Paco should have been in.
After that 8-14 win.
Yeah.
And to be fair, both teams have been carrying a rider tonight. Jody Scott, Luke Harrison have both been carried by Oxford, and Geordie Loftus has been carried by Edinburgh. So it has evened itself out as well. It's all on the lot. You've got to favour Oxford for the win on the night now, I think.
It's all or nothing now, isn't it?
They need a 4-2 to win by a point, 5-1 to win by a couple of points, 3-all an Edinburgh win, and Kai Thompson's been steady enough, to be fair, 5 and 2. Paco on 8 and 1 though, I think probably should have been there, but Kai Thompson's riding well.
You say Kai Thompson's riding well, and I agree with you. But, and there's a big but, his last race was before the interval after Heat 11.
The track's changed a lot since.
Massively.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's Sam Masters and Cameron Heaps. I think I'd be more shocked if it wasn't those two, to be honest.
Luke Harrison and Jody Scott. HWFG.
And,
Not that we don't like Oxford, we just want to see Edinburgh with a chance.
And I imagine Oxford will take 1 and 3, because Gate 4's been a graveyard, and that's where Kai Thompson finds himself. But Gate 2's been good, Gate 3's been the favourite. I'd imagine Sam will be in blue, and although to be fair, they made it work in 13 with Sam off 1 and Heapsy off 3, do you change from that? We've still got 8 people watching. We will be wrapping up as soon as this one's done, and we'll be back in about 22 hours for Leicester and Bellevue in the Rowe Motor Oil Premiership. Then we've got National Development Trophy action next Tuesday.
Yeah, and next Tuesday, the start of a very busy week of what we've got planned.
Yeah.
We've got Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
It's the following week, isn't it?
24th
Tuesday. Yeah, it's the following week.
Oh, I'm thinking a week ahead of me.
Mitch McDermott is in blue. I'll be honest, didn't see that coming. Colour me surprised. Unless Luke Killian's half naked. What are you doing, pal? Family show.
Good job. Good job. The camera isn't on this end.
Is Cameron Heaps just feeling it a little bit now? Because I think if he was 100% or feeling fine, I think it was 100% would have been Cameron Heaps in. So is he is he just feeling the effects a little bit? Yeah, it's been a few weeks.
Tonight's had a little bit of everything, surprise after surprise. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Sam isn't in 15. I'd be more surprised if he was. Here we go.
Sam is in his box already out.
Declan Clean in the pit, Spanner in for Luke. Come back on, maybe?
Maybe, yeah. Hutty giving the push off to Mitch there. The one time of the year that Hutty and his shorts are acceptable.
Not on Christmas Day when he's 10 foot under snow.
So the lineup for heat number 15, going off the inside gate in red for Oxford, Sam Masters. Gate 2 in white for Edinburgh, Victor Palavara. Gate 3 in blue for Oxford is Mitch McDermott. And off the outside in yellow for Edinburgh, Kai Thompson, who, as Palmer rightly says, hasn't been out since before the interval. And the track has changed a lot. Sam offering up the favoured gate 3 to his lesser experienced teammate, and in the hope that he can make it, because Oxford need a heat advantage out of this.
Yeah, they do. It's 4-2, 5-1 on, or it's nothing.
Yeah. One and 2 have been equal. Gate 4's been awful, so may as well put the 0 in for Kai Thompson now.
I mean, to be fair, it's been a very, 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 very weird night.
It has been a strange
This could be that weird that the ref will award the 1-0 and give us a super heat. So Hap actually walks away. 4-15, the tapes right away we go. And Sam Masters has got there. And Mitch McDermott's in the second place, but Kai Thompson looking to come up the inside, and this is enough just to give Oxford the win here. And Kai Thompson looks very out of it. Oh, no, he doesn't. He's through. Wow, what a move from Kai Thompson. McDermott looks like he was going to kill Kai Thompson there. This is now enough to give Edinburgh the win on the night. And I can't wait to message Rob Peasley after this one if this stays as it is. I don't know what Kai Thompson's doing there. I made a little bit of a mistake, but thankfully Mitch McDermott was too far behind to get caught up in any form of crash or action there. Sam Masters, he could go back to Swindon and he'd still win this one, as we've got one that left to go. And I think, for what might be the first time this season at home.
Oxford have
Could
had
be
to
wrong here.
lose.
Oxford are about 2 bends away from losing to an unfancied Edinburgh side.
Sam Masters
And there we
knows
have it.
exactly. Mitch McDermott's fuming. Sam Masters drops his head. He's fuming, and I don't think that's a massive upset, to be honest. Kai Thompson spun after the race. Handshakes between Sam and Victor. Sam comes out 2-1 in the battle of the number ones, but Victor Palavara's done himself no harm at all in in his quest as number one to tonight, and I think he'd hold on to that. He's by far the best rider in this Edinburgh team.
100%.
Result of Heat 15 was a win for the rider in red, Sam Masters, with a winning time of 61.58. Second in white, Victor Palavara, and third in yellow, Kai Thompson. Points divided 3 apiece. Final score: Oxford 44, Edinburgh 45. And that retirement or crash for Jordan Jenkins in Heat 3 is what's cost Oxford a draw here.
It has.
All he had to do was finish the race, and it would have been a draw. That was rough in the first turn between Palavara and Mitch McDermott, but you're in the big boys race now. If you can't hack that, then yeah. But he got his head down and stuff, and Kai Thompson made that inside work from somewhere. Mitch McDermott got in our favourite place, no man's land.
100%. And yeah, McDermott's sort of quite untidy tonight, hasn't he?
He really has.
It's not the Mitch McDermott we've seen all season.
No, and it is a strange track. Like, it's the warmest track he will have raced this year at Oxford, but
He should. He's an Aussie though.
He should be used to racing in the hot weather. Yeah.
The difference with this track is, like I mentioned earlier, the inside half is it's so slick. It's almost like you're riding on concrete, and the outside is very, very grippy, like you're riding King's Lynn. There's no in between, or it's spread out.
Yeah, you are right.
Two different tracks at once. It's
do you want to quickly run us through the individual scorers? Then I'll have a quick flick over to Poole, and then we'll wrap up for the evening.
Oh, go on then. Oxford Cheetahs then. Sam Masters scored 14. Luke Harrison 1. Jordan Jenkins 4. Mitch McDermott 6 at a bonus. Cameron Apes 9 at a bonus. Jody Scott 1. Luke Killeen 9 and 2. Victor Palavara 11. Kai Thompson 6 of 3. Justin Sedgman 6 and 2. Paco Castagna 8 and 1. Michael Pantoff 5. Jonathan Grant 9 and 1. Jordy Loftus 0.
Update from Poole. Last time I brought an update, it was before Heat 9 with the tactical substitute for Berwick. That was a shared race. Craig Cook took the win over Anders Rowe, and Zach Cook dropped his first points of the night with Leon Flint at the back. Heat 10 was rerun because our cult hero Tobias Thompson touched tapes and flipped his bike and was disqualified. It was a 3-all with Richard Lawson taking the flag over Drew Kemp and Daniel Hume. Heat 11 was won by Craig Cook, ending Lewis Kerr's maximum, with Louis Kerr second and Sam Hagen ahead of Paul Stark for the 4-2 to Berwick. Heat 12, Daniel Hume took the flag from Paul Stark and Anders Rowe with Dale Wood at the rear. And Heat 13, Richard Lawson took the flag ahead of Leon Flint and Craig Cook, with Louis Kerr getting his obligatory last place at Poole. Nothing in 14 yet, but Richard Lawson's still unbeaten. Louis Kerr's maximum has gone. Anders Rowe finishes in 9 on 6 plus 2. Tobias Thompson 6. Sam Hagen finishes on 4 after a tough start. And that's about all we've got time for that one. But Poole have wrapped up the win on the night anyway. It's 46-32 after 13 heats. Do you want to wrap us up?
That wraps us up for tonight. If anything, Oxford have taken away a win as Luke Killeen has been voted BSN's Rider of the Night. I think that's unfair on Jonathan Grant, to be honest. That's unfair on Jonathan.
3 sodding last places.
I know. I think that's unfair on Jonathan Grant. I thought he was, a rider on show tonight that's really impressed.
Especially on his first visit.
Exactly. But that's us for this fine Wednesday evening. We'll see you tomorrow in about 22 hours.